Well, I'm curious to know what like first reads of episodes are like, because I've heard varying stories. Some are very normal, some are more like Doc Hammer series where somebody runs in and says, "Guess what I just did to all of our characters." So, what's it like when you get these insanely, just kind of driven scripts and you have to read through it?
It's surprising, to be honest. There's a lot of times where you're like reading it and I'll laugh, like the joke will kind of catch me off guard, you don't expect it, and so that's fun. Yeah, it's a good sign that they're doing something right.
I remember I read a script once and it said I died in it, and I was really freaking, but then I already was sent the next script, but there was like an early season 2 or something like that. Yeah, so you never know what's coming. Certainly not.
Right, yeah. And then sometimes you read what you're reading your script and then you're like, oh no, I have to say that. And that's I get a little nervous sometimes to say some of the stuff. It's a little risky. Yeah.
Have you ever been curious about aliens? I mean, if something was up there in their life, do you believe in it? Have you, since you had this project, is it something that you were always wondered? Or?
I mean, as a kid, I think you have to.
Are you denying?
I know. I was going to say. I think you have to anticipate there being alien life out there. That would be insane if we're the only planet, that's capable of it. And now we got that new Webb telescope. That's going to be pretty exciting. Already, some of the images coming out of there are pretty spicy.
I've seen the photos. They found the Phantom Zone.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Check Facebook.
There's so many stories about like I'll really get into it, but I mean like you can't, like my husband's town where he's from in Wisconsin, he like the whole like there's like 10 people in that town who have the same story of a crazy bright light going over the town that night, and that happens so many places. Like there's got to be something to it, right? I mean, am I the first one to think this?
You're not the first one.
There has to be something to it. I'm a believer.
Well, like after watching our show, like when they introduce different like, species or things like that, it's kind of it makes me think in a different way. It's like, oh, that's what alien interaction could be like. But yeah, I guess I don't know. I don't know if like I believe we'll ever like it might be a while till we meet anything or see anything, but yeah, there's probably something out there.
Yeah, I was telling them like what I like about the show is the balance between a lot of the aliens story plot and then we get to the people inside the tank subplot. So like for you guys, what is you guys' thoughts when you actually saw that subplot like play out like proper in the show?
Loved it.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan.
Well, for me, I remember like when I first read it, I was like, "Oh, that's a fun idea." I didn't realize it was going to become like a whole storyline.
Yeah, I told them multiple seasons. I'm like,
yeah,
seasons of this, like, all right.
And that's one of the coolest parts of the show. But because they always just like they change up the style each season.
Yeah, like this set. I think it was episode 7 of season 1, where none of us talked. I got a little worried, but I was like, "Oh, we still get paid? Okay, thank God."
Because it's like a whole episode focused on them in the tank. I'm like, so we're not gonna. All right.
I gotta admit, by season 2, I remember just watching episodes and thinking, "This is fun. This is fun." Oh boy, another wall episode.
Yeah. I know. I feel like they're gonna write us up. It's all gonna be the wall.
But I mean, it's a good, healthy balance in the show. That's what I like about it. It's like they'll go to the wall, but I was like, no, let's go back over here now.
It makes the funny stuff funnier. I think having that serious bit in there. Yeah.
And Sean, how refreshing is it to go from Goldberg's, then you get to do a show like this? Because we've talked about the Goldberg so many times already. But this is so different, so different.
Yeah, that like it was definitely took some getting used to saying some of the things. I remember like I paused like before saying some parts of the lines, but now I'm like getting used to it. And it's kind of like I was like, oh, I get to say some.
Now he's swearing all the time.
I'm swearing all the time. It's pretty fun. But it's a different kind of character where I get to be kind of angry and attacking people. So, yeah, definitely, it's nice to have the balance, I guess.
Do you guys ever go in? Sometimes I'll go in a really crappy mood, and then I'm like so happy by the end of the session. I'm like, it's great therapy.
It's a highlight. If any given day there's a solar opposites voiceover record, it's going to be a good one.
Yep.
I mean, how's it doing voice acting in comparison to doing like live action, like acting?
It's a lot easier.
I mean, is it more pressure just behind camera than it is in front of the camera?
You can always just do different takes. You can have that in live action, but like there's so many other people waiting on you. There's like a crew and other actors, and it's just like with this, it's just you, a sound engineer, a director, and a producer, and they want you to like keep doing it again and again and again. So. There's just more freedom, and then if you go off on some tangent, as long as it's funny and if it works on the show and they figure out how to animate to it, it's in. You know?
If you've improv like that, has anybody ever come back and said, "Why are you making me do this?" Or
No, we don't talk to the animators. Thank God. Little troll people. No. If anything, it's kind of fun. Like when you watch it later on, and it'll be like a year later after you've recorded it, and you'll be like, "Oh wow, that made it in." I think I improvised that, but I haven't. But yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like Malcolm Gladwell like horny talk that's on the cutting room floor. Yeah, because I was like, this is hilarious. Let me go off on a tangent here, but they chose some, but not all.
so now you're making me think we're going to get something similar to the Rick and Morty judge scene suddenly show up on the internet.
Oh god. Oh, let's hope not.
Can you talk a little bit about being here in Comic-Con? I was just wondering, what does it mean to you, and how does it feel to be an event like that, being back in Comic-Con?
Well, it's kind of like a mecca for all things kind of nerdy, I suppose. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean like that in a totally celebratory way. You know, it's like last night I went to the Dungeons and Dragons kind of like tavern and was attacked by a dragon, you know. It's like it's so insane, right? It's kind of only here where it's not only that, but there's like 50 other things just like it kind of happening all at once. It's pretty sweet, and everybody like dresses up. And like I saw some guy dressed up as someone from the Elden Ring earlier today, which was pretty cool. Yeah, Pumpkin Man head. Yeah, it's just cool.
It's cool to see the viewers, right? Like it's just cool to see there's people excited about it.
Yeah, they're our fans.
Hopefully that's some sort of job security.
Yeah. And we'll get to feel that more in the panel. You know, to see if the fans are actually like if they're real. It's just hopeful.
Yeah. Everything comes for you.
Yeah.
And you know, you guys asked about like live stuff versus recording. Like it's also just nice to not. You don't put on makeup. You don't have to. You don't put
I
on
do,
your.
but yeah. That's everything.
Look good, feel good, you are good. Oh man, I stink. I should have moved my arms.
Oh no, I didn't. No.
No, I smell so bad, guys. I forgot deodorant today. So sorry.
Then you're like
Can't
half
hear
the
you.
people at the convention. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's really nice. You're comfortable. You're relaxed. You can just be yourself and not. I mean, you like, yeah, you don't care what you look like. That's awesome.
How much of yourself do you need to put into your roles to make them fun?
That's a good question.
I mean, what's neat about it is they're kind of, I mean, they can be, like Terry's a departure from me. I'm like quiet and sad most of the time.
My people.
Yes. Yay, depression. And Terry's just this kind of like hang loose, like deep cuts, social references, kind of like slacker blabbermouth. Like, I don't know, it's fun to play. I mean, I basically go into the booth and yell for 3 hours, you know. It's cathartic in a way.
Are you angrier after you're done playing Yumulak? Like, do you get angrier?
So, well, I'm trying to think. Sometimes it's like peace afterwards, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
kind of like, I got it out, I guess. Yeah, I purged it out. Yeah, I don't know.
I never thought Remy Lack was angry. He always just seemed energetic about everything.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty energetic, so that's pretty much me, I guess.
About things like murder and revenge.
Yeah. Love
Crime
it.
of passion.
Some people's power fantasy is Superman. Other people,
How about you with Jesse? You said you're kind of.
I think that the swearing does like feel you're like, oh, I shouldn't say. I don't want people to know I'm saying this. I might not get my clean corporate shows next month for stand up. You know, like that's my main money, and I'm like, it feels pretty good, like to swear. It does. It's very freeing. So it does purge some of your negative emotions from the rest of the week.
I feel like Jenny and Louise from Bob's Burgers should have a shouting match at some point.
That would be actually fun. That would be tough. Very fun.
There would definitely be a sound engineer going, I gotta turn that down.
Who's Louise? Who plays Louise?
The bunny-eared girl on Bob's Burgers.
Is it Kristen?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I know Kristen, so I would love for that to happen. But she's really fun. She came on to one of our public radio shows once, and I wrote the sketch for her, and I was like, oh god, she's so easy to write for. She's so talented and good. Yeah. She's great. Great person too.
We're at 2 minutes.
Okay.
For me, what I like it is that we have the two sides of the people, what they think about what is it Earth. I mean, the good side and the other bad side. I was just wondering, without being from or whatever, what is it your take about this world, especially nowadays?
I'm completely 100% optimistic. I think every possible facet of humanity is going in the right direction. No notes.
Yeah, that's great.
Great answer.
I don't even think I can answer that without crying. Yeah, it's tough. You're the most positive one.
Yeah, give us a good spin.
Yeah. Well, what's the question? It's like, what's the view of how the world is going?
It is for you, yeah, because it's this
see
project is like you see two worlds. Some of them are very happy from the aliens to be part of, to discover this world. Some of them are saying, oh, what is that?
Well,
So,
I guess like how Solar, it shows both sides of it, like you're saying it, but it usually ends in something like a hug or like a family moment.
Yes.
That can still exist in any of the. I think that's like a good positive, I guess. It's like they're like a sweet unit despite all the
Chaos.
chaos.
correct. Thank you.
Yeah, they do a good job of focusing on the relationships for sure. Positive part.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.